Well, that breaking news alert is a wild crime spree spanning over 4 different areas in Jacksonville. Police say 3 men abducted, robbed, attacked, and tied up a woman. More following a local breaking news alert on the west side. A deadly crash has shut down part of I-10. Dunn faces a first-degree murder charge in the shooting death of Jordan Davis back in November 2012. Breaking overnight, the Minnesota Vikings announced Adrian Peterson will temporarily leave the team. You know, we've only seen a couple of people so far, and one of them was lucky enough to not have any damage, and she just happened to be pulling up. She needed something from her storage unit, so you'll hear from her a little later on. Take a look inside in the current truck. It's about 10 years old here. Not a lot of space to move. The newer trucks are going to have a lot more room. Yes, this is a first-time deal here, especially first time for me being here, and I am doing something I have not done in a long time. I'm hula hooping. This is just one of the many things you can do out here at the shipyards. A lot of fun for the families. They have water guns. Uh-oh, losing the hula hoop. They have water guns. They have water slides. They have live music that's going to start tonight. Right now, they have a DJ going. Ashley Mitchem here live at the Lemon Bar, celebrating the start of summer and with summertime. A lot of people are out there traveling, especially taking those flights to visit loved ones, go on some fun vacations. But don't you hate when you get to the airport and it just takes forever to get through? Well, you may be missing out on a program that could help you get through the lines faster. If you look at a map, the neighborhood here is called Woodland Acres, but the people who live here say it's better known as Sin City and that the neighborhood is living up to its nickname. The nickname of the neighborhood, Sin City. Do you think that's accurate?
They named it for a reason, I think.
Well, there's a lot of drugs and drug activity. Back in the day, before the neighborhood was called Sin City, it was Woodland Acres. And there was a good neighborhood and everything. 2 guys who've lived in this crime-ridden neighborhood for over a decade. Both pretty much say the same thing. The neighborhood that used to have a little crime now has gotten out of control.
You know why? It never used to be around this area. It used to actually be down towards them apartments down there and stuff like that, but obviously it's moving everywhere now.
This weekend, there was a double shooting on Hare Avenue. Then the same home was set on fire Tuesday morning. But that's not all. According to News4Jax records, Hare Avenue has been the location of several crimes this year. March 16th, a man was shot by his roommate inside their home. June 2nd, a woman found a man dead and bleeding inside his apartment at Willow Lakes Apartments. August 31st, a man was shot in the chest during a domestic dispute. Jeremy Whitehead has lived in the neighborhood all of his life.
It's not the best neighborhood in the world. What you do, your best idea is just mind your business, stay out of other people's business, and don't do drugs.
But Channel 4's crime and safety analyst Gil Smith says there is hope for this neighborhood by contacting JSO and having a meeting about the problems.
Well, whenever you have citizen involvement, whenever people know that they're uniting together and there are eyes on them, people are watching them, it sort of slows crime, it'll slow crime down, at least to a certain degree.
If you want JSO to help your neighborhood, go to news4jax.com and click the link to this story. Ashley Mitchell, Channel 4, the local station.
As it sits right now, if you get caught in a fire, 2nd story, 3rd story, 4th story, whatever that may be, and you find yourself trapped, the only way to get out is a prayer and a jump.
But that will change because Jacksonville Fire Rescue is issuing bailout packets to every firefighter. Before they get them, firefighters are learning how to use them. So the purpose of the bailout gear is to be a last-minute resort for a firefighter to have to use this and jump out of a window. But in turn, it should save lives. Chief Wilson says it was an accident that sparked the need for personal safety harnesses and bailout bag escape systems. You'll remember in February, a lieutenant at JFRD was trapped in a burning house fire and had no other choice but to jump out of a 2nd-story window. He was in the burn center in Gainesville for 2 days because of his injuries. Chief Wilson says the bailout gear could have helped the firefighter in this scenario.
This would have gave him the opportunity, instead of jumping out of a 2nd story and injuring himself, he would have been able to anchor onto something.
The kit stays in the pocket of the bunker gear. It has about 40 feet of rope, which can hold 1,000 pounds. You anchor yourself down, then the device catches your weight and holds you in position until you release the brake and gradually go down to the ground. All right, I've got the gear on. I'm all ready to go. I have the bailout gear right here in my pocket, and I'm going to try it out. I'm going to rappel down the building.
When you jump out head first, you're going to jump out straight through here. When you get out there, you're going to take your left leg.
Okay.
This leg on this side is going to catch the window right here. Your right leg's going to be out here. As soon as you catch yourself.
So I'm just like throwing myself out.
That's exactly what you're doing. There you go. There you go. All right, there you go. All right, you're good. Now, you okay?
Yep.
All right,
Drop.
this leg. There you go. All right, now you can let go of that arm.
As scary as it was climbing out of a window, firefighters say when your other option is burning alive, it's a no-brainer. The fire department ordered about 1,000 packs, and they are about $300 each. The city funded most of it, but came up short, so Firehouse Sub stepped in and gave JFRD the $30,000 they needed to buy the rest. Every firefighter in Jacksonville will go through training and have the bailout gear within a couple of months. Ashley Mitchem, Channel 4, the local station. You can see just how bad conditions are for people along State Road A1A in Ponte Vedra Beach. Chris Tomlinson is from Jacksonville, but stayed in the 2700 block of A1A this weekend with his family.
The beach, there was probably at least 125 feet of beach, as opposed to yesterday and today. As you can see, it's almost coming all the way up right here to the top of the shoreline. There's hardly any beach left.
Just for some perspective, the water is coming up about 10 to 15 feet away from this person's backyard. Tomlinson says although they had a fun trip, living there may be stressful.
I guess the scariest thing for me, it would be if I was an insurance company and I had to insure these homes. It would be scary.
Another beachgoer, Andrew Eddy, says this is the worst he's seen the problem. He and his family have been staying here for about 8 years.
I'm sure these people living here are seriously concerned. There's no beach right now, and I can't imagine what's happening to the dunes. And if those go down, what's going to happen to the houses after that?
It's an issue locals have been dealing with for a while, a strong increase in the last several months.
There's pretty much zero beach. We sort of had to get up in the dunes just to put out our chairs and towels.
As far as a seawall, the 2700 block of A1A didn't have one up, but some we talked to say they aren't sure that's the solution. Erosion was such an issue in St. Johns County, they declared a state of emergency for some homes along the coastline back in April. Ashley Mitchem, Channel 4, the local station. A temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas was put into effect late last night. If it holds, it'll be a 5-hour break in the recent Gaza fighting. This comes after 9 days of rocket fire and airstrikes were exchanged between Israel and militants in Gaza, which left over 200 Palestinians and 1 Israeli dead. The fighting has now appeared to come to a halt. The pause was agreed upon to allow Palestinians to restock food, water, and other necessities. Both sides agreed to hold their fire until 10 a.m. today, which was 3 a.m. our time. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation is now talking with the state attorney's office about possible charges against 2 Orange Park teens after they posted a video of them abusing and killing a tortoise.
Burn him, baby. Burn, baby. Now you're scared of us, huh? Just throw him. I just want him to die.
Just sickening video here. I watched the whole video yesterday in the newsroom, and we cannot show you all of the video, but what we are trying to show you is cell phone video that shows these 2 teens messing around with a gopher tortoise, lighting it on fire, slammed and stomped it on the concrete until it eventually dies. The tortoise is a threatened species, which is 1 level above endangered. In an interview you will only see on News4Jax, one of the girls' fathers tells us he is outraged. He didn't raise his daughter to do something like this.
Is there anything I have to say about it? Yeah, they're very remorseful for what they did, and they're going to go through the court system to get it all figured out. Okay? And whatever the court system hands down, that's what they're going to do.
So as you can tell there, the dad did not want to be identified. He says the families received death threats since this video was posted on Facebook. The state attorney's office will determine if the teens will be charged as juveniles or adults. Detectives at a local jail are now investigating the death of an inmate they say died after he attempted suicide. Covering St. Johns County, 24-year-old Andrew Durand of Flagler County died Wednesday night at Flagler Hospital. Deputies say he tried to kill himself last Friday while at the St. Johns County Jail. Durand has been in custody since June. One apartment complex near Mayport had quite the cleanup job after a small truck towing a trailer jackknife lost control and ended up crashing right into it. Also in Nassau County, we're still waiting to find out the cause of death for a 9-year-old girl. She was pulled from a swimming pool yesterday. Happened in a Yulee subdivision called Fiddler's Walk. The sheriff's office says she may have had a seizure while she was swimming. The child's name is Nicole, but the sheriff's office is not releasing her last name quite yet because her dad is a local law enforcement officer. CPR was performed at her home, and then she was taken to Baptist Hospital, but they could not revive her. Neighbors tell News4Jax they are in shock and cannot believe she's gone.
We told him we were sad and we'd miss her, and it's okay for him to miss her and cry. And I can't believe it, and my heart just goes out for her mom and dad and sister, because I can't imagine what they're going through. We're just in disbelief. I mean, we had my daughter's birthday party the other day, and everything was great. Everything, she's healthy and happy and strong, smart little girl, and it's really shocking and tragic. It was completely unexpected.
The sheriff's office is waiting for a report from the medical examiner until they release the official cause of death. After 4 years of legal fights, expert opinions, and the managing of the court, the family of Michelle O'Connell is making their point clear. They're not going away. And now a new witness has come forward in the case. Yesterday, O'Connell's friends and family gathered outside the state attorney's office in St. Johns County, asking for a coroner's inquest into how the 24-year-old died. 3 separate investigations have ruled O'Connell's death a suicide. Local attorney Gene Nichols isn't associated with the case, but says given the evidence so far, it's unlikely this latest effort will lead to any criminal prosecution.
Know that they are proceeding in the civil realm and that there are lawsuits that have already been filed. But in order to try and follow any sort of criminal path, they're going to have to get the state attorney's office to open this case again.
O'Connell's family insists she was killed by her boyfriend, St. Johns County Sheriff's Officer Jeremy Banks, but he's never been charged or named a suspect. The family's hired high-profile attorney Benjamin Crump to handle these new developments in the case. The city of Jacksonville is putting on a night of film with a variety of short films and 2 feature-length films. The best part, it's all free. This morning, a man is recovering in the hospital after an apparent drive-by shooting. Happened just before 10 last night on East 27th Street in the Long Branch area. The man is expected to be okay. No vehicle or suspect information is known at this time, but if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers 866-845-TIPS. Now to a crime alert that has an entire community on edge. After 4 attacks on young women in just 1 week, police at the University of Florida have increased patrols working to keep students safe. In the past week and a half, all of these attacks have happened within a few miles of each other. Now police are looking to find the man who is responsible. A composite sketch has not been released yet, but this surveillance video has captured police attention, showing a person of interest. Look on the screen there. You can see him. They say the white man appears to be in his 20s, at least 6 feet tall, weighs between 200 and 250 pounds, with dark hair and a beard. Well, it is Sexual Assault Awareness Week on campus, and students are pledging not to walk alone. Channel 4's Haley Winslow spoke to UF students who say they're determined to make sure this does not happen to anyone else. Later today, 2 high-profile candidates will be interviewed for the Florida State University president position. The first round of interviews took place yesterday. Now FSU interim president Garnet Stokes and State Senator John Thrasher will go in front of the search committee, but student groups have been protesting Thrasher's candidacy for months.
Each candidate deserves respect and to be treated with respect and to have their candidacy vetted in a proper way.
It shouldn't be a protest to interview high-profile candidates. I think, it's good to have high-profile candidates. It makes you appreciate the process.
A total of 5 candidates will be interviewed today, and 3 or 4 will be selected as finalists. Well, New York cab drivers aren't known for their cautious driving, but now the city's making an effort to change that. How the city's safest cabbies were honored, coming up. And the White House is now responding to Ray Rice's suspension from the NFL for domestic violence. What it's saying about the fight to end violence against women, that is next.